Welcome to WNL Sports Weekly. I'm Jeremy Franklin. This week we'll speak with field hockey coach Wendy Orrison, football captain Peter Partee, and women's soccer captain Alexis Blight. But first, a quick look back at the weekend in Washington and Lee athletics. The volleyball team scored 3 victories at the Warner Center, notching ODAC wins over Randolph-Macon and Virginia Wesleyan and a non-conference defeat of Averett. Women's soccer opened up ODAC play with a 2-0 win at Eastern Mennonite, and men's soccer picked up a 4-0 victory on the road against Ferrum. Men's golf placed 3rd at Bridgewater's Tom Kinder Memorial Tournament, while the women's team tied for 4th at the Dickinson Invitational. The men's and women's tennis teams opened up their fall season at the Mary Washington Kickoff Classic, highlighted by Sonia Meehan's first-place finish in the A-flight of the women's bracket. And field hockey dropped a 3-1 road decision to 9th-ranked Christopher Newport. With me now is field hockey head coach Wendy Orrison. Wendy, welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me.
CNU, one of many tough opponents you faced already. You had another top 10 team on the schedule, Mary Washington, 14th ranked Lynchburg in the ODAC opener on Tuesday night. How will those games prepare you for what you'll see in the ODAC?
Well, I think that you have to learn to compete as an athlete. You don't just work on skills, you don't just work on shooting or team tactics, but you have to learn how to compete, and that's a very difficult and challenging thing to do. A team has to come together and learn to do that. And so by playing Christopher Newport and Mary Washington, I think it's really helped prepare us for the powerhouse of Lynchburg. We did not win last night, but we did compete. We played well. We held our own much better than we have in the previous season. So I'm pleased with how we're playing these tough opponents.
Washington and Lee entered the week tied for 1st in the ODAC. You're ranked in the top 10 in the nation in defensive saves. What is working well for the Generals on that end of the field?
Well, we have a lot of good returners on our defensive end. Riley Hamp, she's a senior captain, and she's certainly notched a number of those defensive saves. She's got a rock-solid stop, good hand-eye coordination. But Caroline Andrus is in the back, Victoria Van Natten is there, Mary Virginia Long. Just have a lot of nice returners. They play well together. And then, of course, Megan Axelrod is fairly new in the goal. And so it's nice to see these experienced players stepping up to help their rather younger goalie to keep our defense working hard and playing well together.
Your October schedule is favorable in more ways than one. You have 7 of your last 9 matches at the WNL Turf Field. How will that benefit the Generals down the stretch?
Well, as most people know, Washington Lee is incredibly academic, and certainly in October, the academic load picks up. We head into reading days and midterms, so it's always wonderful when you can end up having a little more time at home in October. We've been on the road a lot in September. We are away this weekend and again next weekend. So certainly the women on the team are looking forward to being at home in October. It's wonderful to play on our turf field, and like I said, it's just a better balance of academics and athletics in October.
I know you've been pleased with the improvement that your team has shown so far. What needs to happen? What are the keys for the Generals to have a successful year within the ODAC?
Well, you know, we need to maintain our confidence. As I said at the beginning, we've been working on how to compete, leaving it all on the field. But when we've only had 1 win, that can waver. And so we've just got to keep having faith in the system, faith in the process, that practice helps make us a better, stronger team, and really take it to these ODAC teams here in October.
Wendy, thanks for joining us here. Good luck the rest of the way.
Great. Thank you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
With me now is Peter Partee, senior football captain from Richmond. Peter, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Jeremy. I appreciate it.
Going back to week 1, how pleased were you with the play of the defense against an experienced and talented Franklin and Marshall team?
Sure. I think the short answer is that we were very pleased. Obviously, anytime you only give up 13 points, you're going to be happy about that. Upon looking on the film, though, and having played in the game, you realize that they had a lot of opportunities that they didn't capitalize on, which creates a lot of opportunities for us to become better as a unit. So, you know, this bye week has been great to give us an opportunity to improve on what we came short of on last week, and looking forward to really brushing up what we didn't do against F&M.
Most of the talk about WNL football over the last few seasons has been about the record-setting offense. Do you feel like the defense has something to prove this year?
Sure. That's probably one of the more asked questions to our defensive leaders. And I think the short answer is yes, we absolutely do have something to prove, and we've gotten better every year since I've been here. You know, the offense has obviously been the focus of the team, and rightfully so. Coach Abel's unit has done a great job over the course of the time that I've been here. But, you know, we're more athletic up front than we've ever been before, and, you know, we're really looking forward to maybe showing some people what we're all about.
Center and Sewanee are longtime rivals of Washington and Lee's football team. They're also the last two non-conference games that you have before you open up ODAC play in early October. How important are these next 2 weeks for the team?
Oh, they're absolutely important in terms of getting ready for ODAC play. They're both solid teams. Center's kind of been up and down, and Sewanee's only been better since we've started playing them. And I'd say that we want to use these two games as an opportunity to really improve as a team, be process-oriented, and realize that at the end of the year, our goals are to win the ODAC and to get a home playoff game. And in order to get a home playoff game, you've got to do very well in your non-conference schedule, being from a conference that's not one of the bigger ones in the nation. So just take these 2 weeks and do what you can to play very well against two solid teams.
You and the senior class are 25-8 at WNL, 17-2 in the ODAC. What kind of expectations do you have for your final season?
Well, like I just said, we're going to want to win the ODAC and try to get a home playoff game, and those are our goals for the season. That being said, those numbers are pretty awesome to hear, and I'd say that the senior class has worked very hard and tried to earn its keep, and putting WNL football in a place that it maybe hasn't been before. I'd like the focus to be on the team rather than the senior class, but it's absolutely been a great experience for our class, and hopefully this year we'll only make it better.
Peter, thanks for being here, and we wish you the best of luck this year.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
With me now is Alexis Blight, senior soccer captain from Columbia, Maryland. Alexis, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Washington and Lee has won 5 of its first 6 matches on the year. You got a road victory against Eastern Mennonite to open up conference play over the weekend. How pleased have you been with the performance of WNL on the field so far?
Well, we're really happy with our fitness level. We came in at a great place, and that's given us a great advantage over teams. We had an early loss to Rowan, and we were a little disappointed about that. We'd like to go undefeated this season, so we learned a lot from that game, and we're still undefeated in the conference. Right now, we just want to be scoring more goals and have a stronger offensive presence. So that's something we're focusing on right now.
Washington and Lee had a heartbreaking end to a great season last year. You had the double overtime loss to Shenandoah in the ODAC quarterfinals. How has the way last season came to a close motivated you and the other returning players this year?
It's been a huge motivation. We've talked about it a lot during preseason, and we tried to explain to the first years how quickly the season can end and how quickly it goes by. So we really need to make the most of every game, and we can't let down on offense or defense for 1 second. So it's been a huge motivation. I think the first years are on board. Our team motto this year is actually "Now is our time," and we just think it's really appropriate because we feel like we've learned a lot from the past few years, and we're ready to win an ODAC championship.
There's been a lot of turnover on the defensive end over the last couple of years, and now you're one of the only upperclassmen playing in the back third. How important is your experience with such young defense around you?
Yeah, last year was actually my first year as a center back, so I have 1 year under my belt, but we have Aaron Harvey returning at right back, and the keepers are on board as well. So we've really tried to stress communication and keeping the back line together. As well, we've had some great first years come in and fill roles that we needed to be fulfilled. So Hollis Tardy, Katie Clemens, Ashley Hogan have all done a great job filling in and having a strong defensive line.
You're about to get into the heart of the ODAC schedule. You've got 3 tough conference matches to wrap up September. What will the Generals need to do to beat teams like Roanoke, Randolph-Macon, and Virginia Wesleyan?
Yeah, these are big games coming up for us. I think the first thing is getting healthy. We've had a number of girls out have been struggling with injury, so we really hope to just have them back this week. And I think in practice, we need to be more physical and go in for tackles and also have an urgency to score. So scoring goals is going to be huge in these games. We'll probably only have a few opportunities, so we really need to adopt a more fierce scoring mentality.
Alexis, thanks for joining us here. Best of luck the rest of the year.
Thank you so much.
It's time now for a look at the upcoming weekend. Volleyball travels to Ohio for Marietta's Pioneer Classic, starting with a matchup against 7th-ranked Mount Union on Friday evening. On Saturday, the Generals will meet the host Pioneers, followed by West Virginia Tech. The cross-country teams head to Elkton for the Shenandoah Valley Invitational on Saturday morning. Field hockey travels to Virginia Wesleyan for an ODAC match, while women's soccer plays host to Randolph-Macon, and football returns to action at Center. Field hockey continues play on Sunday with the road contest at St. Mary's, while men's soccer visits Bridgewater. Also this weekend, women's tennis returns to Mary Washington for the ITA Southeast Regional Championships, and women's golf heads to Conover, North Carolina for the ODAC Preview Tournament. For WNL Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.